This explanation was followed by silence. I had no idea what he was meaning. For all I knew, he said, "Hey man, can you get over there and push the boat?" I legitimately thought it was Jan, but there was a part of me that was thinking, they're on to you. Some time went by, minutes, maybe about 5 to 10 minutes went by without another intercom thing at all. And after that point in time, I got up and after the boats again to try and figure out what was going on. And immediately, something else, and they got on the intercom and said something in French. Now seeing the look of exacerbated confusion on my face, something like, they obviously understood that I too had no idea what they were saying. And you could hear a scoff, like, oh. And then they switched immediately to English and said, "Get back in the boat." So I got back in the boat. After a small length of time, a gentleman arrived. He was wearing these sort of overall pond waddling gear. And he looked at me in the most unamused way you can possibly look at somebody and said, "So, what happened?" And I looked at him. I responded, "Yeah, what did happen?" In a matter of I too wanted to know the answer to this question. Why did the ride stop? Why did the ride... why did the ride stop? In very much the same tone. And he's like, "Why did you get out of the ride?" Now, I wasn't going to admit to how long I'd gotten out of the ride, and it was becoming immediately apparent to me that they didn't quite know when I had gotten out of the ride. And when he looked at me and said, "Why did you get out of the ride?" my response was, "Because I was scared." How many times have you ridden this ride today? About 4 times. And why did you get scared now? Well, I saw this log thing because directly where I had stopped, there was a log that was imagining itself coming down from the rafters. And in most theme parks, if you're afraid, you can just voila, call it a day and just leave the ride. And so this was going to be my backup excuse. And he's like, So you got out of the ride because you were scared? Yes. You, a grown adult, who had ridden this ride 4 times, got scared. Yes. You, as a grown adult, who had ridden this ride 4 times, got out of this ride because you were scared, even though it says directly in front of you, "Do not leave this ride at any point, especially if you are scared." Yes, this sounds about right. Now, he didn't seem to buy a word of this in the slightest, but there was nothing he can do. And apparently, he went on to explain that there was a sensor directly there, and only directly there. It's the only place there's a sensor on the entire ride because of the sheer waterfall that was directly in front of me. Saying that someone at some point in time had gotten the clever idea of getting out of the ride right there and fallen down the waterfall, and then got crushed to death by the ride. And so they decided to put a sensor there to stop this from happening again. And he then informed me that now, because of my stupidity, he would have to go around and manually carry everyone out of the ride. And that I would be last. Now, this seems like an extraordinarily stupid and annoying and selfish thing for me to have done, and I admit it slightly was. But there wasn't more than maybe one other person on the entire ride. So I didn't feel too bad. But, needless to say, I sat there in that ride, in that one particular spot, for about a half hour more. Before eventually he came and extracted me with a couple of campus security guards, and then they walked me out to the front of the park. And it was dead. There was nobody around anymore. I think this was roughly around 1 a.m. at the time. To which there was no more buses, no more cabs, and getting back to my residence of choice that I happened to be couchsurfing at proved a bit difficult. But it was worth every penny of it. Beforehand, I was disheartened that the rides were all closed, that the Haunted Mansion was closed, that entire swaths of the park were closed, that the people were annoying, rude, smoking, and drunk, and that the lines weren't long. However, the merchandise was very well priced for a Disney theme park. I was shocked and surprised. If you're looking for a Disney theme park to go to buy things, Disneyland Paris is way underpriced comparatively to its Anaheim and Orlando alternatives. So yes, these are my 3 stories. Exploration of Papua New Guinea for 2 weeks via backpacking around in an unexplored section of jungle in the Star Mountains. Nearly killing my couchsurfing host during a bout of stupidity. And getting kicked out of the French Disneyland Paris in an attempt to get my money's worth from the park. Now, I hope that at least one of these 3 stories amused you in some way. I have many, many, many more. I just chose these 3 because it's a nice brushstroke. We have 3 different countries in 3 different situations. One, me backpacking through wilderness. Another one, me staying with somebody, and me just being anticky. And I do hope that you will like this video. It's a lot longer than I imagined it to be, and I do apologize for the length. But if you've made it to this point, I congratulate your zeal. And hopefully that you will congratulate me in my 3 years of absolute demonstrable traveling spirit, and like this video so that I might have a chance to come in first. I appreciate it. And if you guys can just do me one more favor, and remember, no matter where in the world you go, be awesome. That's all. It's been a privilege. Thank you.